Hello, I'm Bene, or FLG, and you might have seen my last video where I talked about the 69-minute tournament which I created, and I made a bit of tutorial, explained a little bit how it worked, and today we're going to talk about why that maybe was a bit too much overhead and why today I'm going to present to you a solution which is much easier, way less dumb, and maybe also going to go a bit into detail why that is. So, what did the last method, which was a bit unnecessary and a bit too much overhead? You see, the video was like 15 minutes long, and that's a bit too much, because what did I do? I went and used a debugger and accessed the memory of Pokémon Sword or Pokémon Shield to change the value, which stores the value of the current selected time, which the tournament should hold to, and I changed that. And I mean, that's a great solution, but it takes way too long, because for one change and for one tournament that might take up to 10 minutes, and that's not good enough. And that's why I thought, okay, why don't I look into something else? What can I do? And I did some research and I figured out that there are cheat codes which you can create for Pokémon Sword and Shield. And what do they do? As I figured out, they actually just change the memory. So if I can create a method where I do what I previously do in my tutorial and just create a cheat code for the exact steps I do here, I might result in something like this: timer cheat codes for Pokémon Sword and Shield. And today I'm going to show you how you can install that if you have a hacked Switch and if you have Atmosphere installed. This also works for other custom firmwares, but I'm going to just show you that on Atmosphere right now, and then show you, of course, how it works, how it looks, and be fairly simple there. So let's talk about what to do. This repository here, this GitHub repository, contains all the information that you need. Basically, there are just some cheat codes you need to put on your SD card, and for that I would recommend you now put your SD card in your PC from your Nintendo Switch. Then just go into code, you just download the zip here and open that up. If I now show that, if we go in there, we see, okay, readme, license, we don't care about that. We see a version number, and that is the current state. The current state supports version 1.3.1. This might work for other versions, depending on if the cheat code needs to be adapted. That's why in future, if, for example, version 1.4 will come out, I will probably try and create a folder for version 1.4 and in there the cheat code for Pokémon Sword or Pokémon Shield for this version will be included. We just open that up because we are interested in 1.3.1 and then have the Atmosphere folder and just stay here. Then you open up your SD card and you just look at the contents. And what do you need to do? Easy. Copy that. In my case, I have it already, of course, I just have to replace it, and that's pretty much it. Okay, that's not completely it, because you might need to configure it so that Atmosphere actually loads the cheats. In my case, I had to go to Atmosphere, to Config, and to System Settings. And that opens that up, and if we go a bit lower here, I had to set the DMT cheats enabled by default from 0 to 1. And that's pretty much what I need to do so that the cheats can be loaded. That's one method of doing it, but people might not like it that the cheats are always loaded. So what you can do, and I will leave a link in the description, there is a tutorial by the guy who made Atmosphere who goes into detail about how the cheat process works. And you can set a key which you can click or which you can hold if cheats should be enabled. Just follow this here. Set the settings depending on what you want, and then the cheats are loaded. And then you pop in back your SD, and that's pretty much all you need to do. You're done. You don't need to have any debugger. You don't need to have any other tools. It's just that simple, and I'm going to show you that right now. So you put the file on your SD card, you started your Switch, and you went into your MMC partition or your custom firmware. Okay, let's then start Pokémon Sword in my case, and it might be in your case that you start Pokémon Shield. In my case, I also don't have to activate the shields because they're loaded directly in your case, that might differ, especially if you use a different custom firmware. Okay, so let's start the game. And of course, the first thing we want to do is just create a tournament. Just one heads up, to share these tournaments, you need to use a Lan-Play method. It will be linked in the description on how to do that, but just a heads up. Okay, let's go to local tournament. Just aware this is in German. Just go to the same places that might sound familiar. You want to create a tournament and create some custom rules. Okay, so let's just, for now, select some time. You want to have your time 10 minutes and yeah, the whole time forever. And it says, oh, 10 minutes, well, it didn't work. No, let's just change something else and let's see if it really just didn't work. Oh, no, it did work. Perfect. So, as you can see, with that cheat code, you can set the time to, yeah, whatever you actually like in the cheat code. Because the cheat code for now just says 69 minutes. The hex value is the third value if you actually look at the cheat file. It's set at 45 because that is the hex value of 69. But if you so please and want to have another value, just yeah, set the hex value of it. There will be a link in the description on how to convert a decimal like 69 to a hex number like 45. And with that, you're free to go. You can share these rules via Lan-Play and use them. And that's all you need to do. It's very, very, very simple, especially in regards to the, yeah, to the method before. And I'm quite glad that this works because I think that the previous method really wasn't that viable, especially in a large environment, because it took quite a large amount of time to create these rules. But now I think that should be much more efficient, especially if someone wants to think about creating a bot which shares these rules, because it can be set up fairly easily. And I think that might be some future work if someone wants to take a look in that. Yeah, but for now, I definitely would appreciate some support. If you know someone who would like that, just share the video, please, and that would be much appreciated. Because if you share the word, maybe that will have some influence, because I know that people want to have a timer back, and this is at least one method to allow at least single games to be a bit more efficient and a bit more practical, and I think that is something very, very great. Yeah, I hope you had a lot of fun. I would appreciate a like on this video if you appreciated it, and if you have any questions, just put them in the comments, and that was it for me. Yeah, and that is it. Goodbye.